So our first topic for today, and I suppose we will have two parts, actually different parts. We will make different parts of this work today. So our first part, which I would like to move quite quickly, is basics of collections and actually ArrayList class. ArrayList. I should say that it is this is version, let's say, of array, but which you will use in case you will program in Java. You will use in production this class, not arrays, because arrays in Java have some limitations, and that's why we have another different classes to work with collections, and they have much more functionality, which quite useful to use. Okay, so maybe I will start just showing you this in code, and that would be easier to explain. Okay, so now I want to create array list of some items. So what should I do? Array list, actually even choose that. Then new and tricky stuff starts, which is called generics. I should not come into the details at the moment. We will work on that in the future courses actually, but I will explain quickly what do we have. So I said that I want to have array list, or kind of array, of elements of which type? Of strings at the moment. And as array list is actual object or class, I should create object of this class. So IntelliJ IDEA helps me to do that, so I can do this very concise syntax. So actually I should type also strings here, but because string was already mentioned, I allowed not to duplicate myself and just use this tricky syntax. Okay, so now I have kind of array of strings. What can I do with that? I could add elements, first of all, items, and I call add method. So my array list has add method. I could put any string here. For example, I'm adding string this value 1. Let me add a few more strings. Okay. I have 3 strings here. And please pay attention to one more important moment. When I declare items and I said that I want to have this array list in my program, in that very moment, IntelliJ IDEA automatically import this Java util array list class. So it is important, because if I have no this line, then Java do not understand what array list I'm talking about. Because if we have some custom classes, we should import that classes in our current file, current program. So that's why IntelliJ IDEA will help you to do that, but you should understand that it's present. So in case you have problems with that, pay attention that you imported Java package, util package, array list package. So this is the path to my array list class. Array list, actually not package, but array list class, which is placed in these packages. Okay. Now, what can I do with this? For example, I could access my items by index. As we know, in array we could access elements by index. Here we could also do that but using this object-oriented approach. And so if we had array, then we do something like this. But here, we just call method get and pass index of needed element there. So what do you think? What should be printed in console after this line? 1, absolutely. So I will not run the program. You totally understand that idea. Okay. Then let me show you example of how we traverse this array list. Let's first use general for loop. So we start from 0, and you remember, in case of array, what should we put here if it was array? Do you remember? Length, exactly. But not the case for ArrayList. For ArrayList, the same operation we get through next syntax. Items. And we have size method. Size method will return actual length of our collection. So this is how it works. Okay, and the same, I could output elements. For example, this. I will command this code, and so now I run it. And of course, you know what should you see? 1, 2, 3. Run. 1, 2, 3. So this is very familiar for you way to traverse your collection, but using a bit different syntax. Okay. So at this point, I should suppose that you don't see any difference between ArrayList and arrays. But one problem, no, actually you already see the difference because we used add, which is not possible for array. Okay, let me actually start from here. So you know, yeah, let me demonstrate it even like this. System out println items, and I will use size here. So what do you think? What will we get in console after line number 7?
1.
Yeah, exactly. We will get 1. But if I do it here, 3. So what you see there, that our collection dynamically increased, which is not possible for arrays. You could just declare that my array will have 100 elements and that's it. You could not increase number of elements. But here, and it is very, very like, I don't know, so very hard to work if your collection should be just, you should know in advance how many elements will you have. It is just not convenient to work like as this. You actually want to have dynamic collection. You should have in runtime ability to grow your collection, to remove elements from your collection. And it is not possible with arrays, but it is possible with ArrayList. So, continuing this idea, let me show you one more method which is not present in arrays but present here. I could even remove element from collection. For example, okay, let's decide which element would you like to remove?
The last one.
The last one. Okay, which index should I put here? 2. Well done. If people start counting from 0, you're already programmers. So now you understand that very clearly. Last element of 3 with index 2. Actually, that's right. So after that, I will have just 2 elements in my collection. So I just removed 1 element. Wow, this is the feature of dynamic work with collection, which is just wonderful using ArrayList. Again, let me show you another way to traverse my collection, which is enhanced for loop, like for in. string str from my collection, from items. And I'm outputting my current string. Do you remember this enhanced form? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so of course let me run and check if everything is working. Okay, 1, 3, that is kind of elements, and 1 to 3. First traverse and second traverse without last element. So everything is all right, everything is okay. Yeah, actually this is it about ArrayList. And let me also show you how can I use ArrayList with my classes. So for example, let me create my custom class. So class person, for example. Okay, so I created a new, no, it is not that place which you want to use. Let me create one more time in proper hierarchy. New Java class, person. Yeah. So I'm in current package. So yeah, now I created my person class, and let's play with this class a little bit. So person could have name. Okay, let it be public field, public string name. Okay, let it be just name to make it more concise. And let me create constructor, public person. And I would like to pass this name into constructor to initialize my person class. So I'm accessing name property and sign value, pass it to constructor. Okay, we have this person class. Now let's back to our main. Yeah, I would like maybe to create another class, so not to mess all this stuff. Array list of persons. Yeah, I just created new class, array list of persons, and I could have main function here, and I will work just here in this class. So I would like to create a few objects of person class. So I declare variable of person, person1. Of course, I should okay, yeah, everything is okay. Person1, new person, control another object, b2 equals new person, John, and so on and so forth. So now I would like to use ArrayList of my custom objects. So I create variable of ArrayList. I have this generic declaration of what type of objects would I have in this collection. So what should I type there?
Person.
Person. Exactly. And I create empty ArrayList.
Can you explain again what is in these brackets after by person?
Yeah. So this angle brackets means generics, use of generic types. Okay, you could think about that. It is kind of to pass parameter to our class. but to pass parameter with not with value, but parameter with actual data type class. It is hard to explain at the moment, and we will in next courses will in deep discuss these generics. Many languages has this ability to manipulate with types. So yeah, so I just declare ArrayList, and ArrayList. Okay, guys, let me make things complicated. I could jump into ArrayList. I press Command and click, and I see Java code, which was developed by Java developers, and I have this. It is actual class, and we have fields, private fields, public fields, methods here, and so on. So the main interesting thing is that we have these brackets and we have this type here. So at the moment when this class was created, we don't know what exact type of items in this collection we will have. It could be string, it could be custom object, it could be another types, and so on and so forth. So, but we still need, as a Java static type language, we still need to specify type of variables. We could not use just very dynamic something. We should strictly type, specify type of variables. So, and generics, this is a way how to specify concrete type, but in advance, kind of to prepare for future use of that. So I know it is quite not so easy to explain this part at the moment, but maybe I will stop here, and it is just short insight into the subject. You could read about that a little bit more. But I don't want you to confuse yourself at this moment, because we still have something to talk with you today. Okay, so things become more complicated, yes? Sorry for that, but this is it at the moment. So just remember that that you should use this like you see on your screens.
So into our brackets we use like our object.
Our type of our object.
Type of our object.
So class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we created just empty array list here with named persons, and now we could add object there. Persons, what should they call? Okay, I already have this tip. Add. And yeah, what do you think? What should they put there? P1. Okay, so I just added first person. And so on and so forth. I could add all of them. P2. So as you see, it is possible to manipulate with custom objects, with custom collections through this creation of object and adding them into collection and work with them. Actually, I could even call members or access members of my inner like items in collection like this. Get, for example, first element, and then name equals not Petro but Stepan. So do you see this line? Do you understand how it works? What happened in this line? Line 12.
We changed our name first.
Okay, first of all, we access our first element. This is this code, right? This code. We just access first element of our collection. But first element of our collection is actual this object. So we continue to access, and we use this accessor operator, dot. And we access name. Name of what?
P1.
Name of P1. Because we know that P1, where is my person? P1 have public field name. That's why I could access that field. And I exactly do this with this string. Okay, do you see that? All right. Moreover, I could also add new objects even without creating specific variable, because actually maybe I don't need this P1, P2 in my program, because I will do all this stuff through the collection. So that's why I could do this thing. If I want just to create new object on the fly and put this object into my collection, what should I do here?
New person.
Exactly, not a problem. We could do that without any problems. Just on the fly. New person, put another name there. Okay, my name is just over. Okay, and this is it. We add one more element in our collection, and now I could, for example, traverse all this element, and I will get in my collection Stepan, John, and Igor. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So basically, this is it about ArrayList. You know about add, remove element, access to size, traverse the ArrayList, and now you know how to add your custom objects to them. Okay? If there is no any other question, let's stop here.